You sit there watching the charts. The trade's in the red and you mutter to yourself, "It has to come back. It owes me." But here's the cold truth. Have you ever waited on the sidelines for months or years because the crash should come soon and missed on big rallies? Have you entered a trade because it was green for days in a row, only to enter and have a losing trade? Every trader has had that moment. The stubborn, slightly irrational conviction that the market has to turn in your favor. Maybe you've been on a losing streak and think the next trade is due to win. Or maybe you've been holding onto a bad position, refusing to close it because it can't go any lower. If you've ever thought that way, congratulations, you've met the gambler's mindset. It's the mental trap where we believe the market has a moral obligation to even the score. But here's the thing, the market doesn't know you exist. It's not your friend, it's not your enemy, and it's definitely not keeping track of how many trades you've won or lost. This mindset matters because it can lead to overtrading, revenge trading, and catastrophic drawdowns. If you don't learn to break free from it, the market will teach you the lesson the hard way by draining your account. In this episode, we're going to break down why the gambler's mindset takes root, how it disguises itself in your trading decisions, and most importantly, how to replace it with a calm, disciplined, professional trader's mindset. By the end, you'll know how to spot the warning signs before they take over, plus practical techniques to keep your decisions data-driven, not emotion-driven. Let's dive in. Before we continue, I want to thank the sponsor of today's video, Noesis. Noesis is a platform built specifically for traders who want to level up their consistency and mindset while avoiding mental pitfalls. It gives you tools like a daily mental check-in, a trade journal, and an emotion wheel to track your state while trading. On top of that, it includes structured playbooks, which are strategy checklists that you can go through before and after each trade, plus a playbook marketplace where you can explore proven strategies from other traders, or share your own. If you're serious about developing the psychological edge that most traders ignore, Noesis is worth checking out. You can get started today at noesis.zone, link in the description. How the gambler's mindset sneaks. The gambler's mindset doesn't announce itself with flashing neon signs. It creeps in quietly. Maybe you have a losing trade and think, "I'll double my position to get it back faster." Or you've had 5 losing trades in a row and convince yourself that the next one has to be a winner. This thinking is rooted in something called the gambler's fallacy, the belief that past random events affect future outcomes. For example, if a coin lands on heads 5 times in a row, people assume tails is due next. In reality, the odds are still 50-50 each flip. In trading, each setup you take is a separate event. The fact that your last 3 trades lost has zero effect on the probability of the next one winning. But our brains don't like randomness. They crave patterns and fairness. That's why the gambler's mindset feels so seductive. Real-world example. I once spoke to a trader who lost 3 trades in a row on EUR/USD. Convinced the market had to reverse, they went all in on the 4th trade. The market didn't reverse. It dropped further. They blew 40% of their account in one day. Why this mindset is so dangerous. First, it turns you from a strategist into a speculator. You stop looking at charts for signals and start looking for payback. Second, it wrecks your risk management. Position sizes get bigger, stop losses get wider. You're no longer protecting capital. You're chasing losses. Psychologically, it's also addictive. That big make-it-all-back trade gives you a dopamine hit if it works. But dopamine is the same chemical behind gambling addictions. You might win once, but you'll start chasing that rush over and over until the inevitable loss wipes out the wins. And here's the twist. Sometimes the market rewards bad behavior in the short term. You might take an impulsive revenge trade and win. This creates reinforcement. You think your gamble was skill. But over time, the math always wins. And without discipline, the house, the market, takes your chips. Spotting the gambler's mindset in your trading. One of the hardest parts about the gambler's mindset is that it often hides in plain sight. You might think you're just being patient or trusting your analysis, but in reality, you're just refusing to admit the market has moved against you. Here are some red flags that you might be slipping into this trap. Increasing your lot size right after a loss. Not because the next trade meets stronger criteria, but because you want to win it all back faster. Holding on to losing trades way past your stop loss because it can't possibly go lower, or it has to bounce soon. Thinking in terms of fairness, believing the market owes you a winning streak after a bad run. Trading when you're emotional or bored, not because there's a solid setup, but because you feel restless or frustrated. A powerful way to spot this is by keeping a trading journal. but not just a list of entries and exits. Write down why you entered each trade, how you felt before and after, and whether the setup truly met your rules. When you look back, patterns will jump out. If you keep seeing phrases like, "get it back," "it's due," or "I can't close now," those aren't signs of conviction. They're the gambler's mindset whispering in your ear. And the longer you ignore that voice, the louder it gets until it makes the decisions for you. How to break free from the gambler's mindset. Breaking this cycle is part psychology, part discipline. Detach from the outcome of individual trades. Think in terms of series of trades, not single trades. A pro trader might win only 50% of the time but still be profitable because they manage risk and let winners run. Predefine your risk per trade. Decide beforehand how much you're willing to lose, say 1% of your account, and stick to it. That way, even if you hit a losing streak, you're still in the game. Use data, not emotions. Build a checklist for trade entries. If the setup doesn't meet every criterion, you don't trade. This keeps you from jumping in just because you're due for a win. Take breaks after big losses. If you lose more than your daily limit, walk away. The market will still be here tomorrow. Your discipline is worth more than any one trade. A real-world example of turning it around. Imagine a restaurant owner who kept reacting emotionally to every slow night. If sales dipped, they'd panic, running last-minute discounts, overspending on ads, or even staying open extra late just to make the money back. The result? They were burning out, draining cash, and the restaurant was sinking fast. Then they made two changes. Set a fixed budget for promotions, no more knee-jerk spending. Stopped chasing losses on bad days, instead focusing on consistent service and quality. 3 months later, the business was not only back to breaking even, but actually turning steady monthly profits. What changed? They stopped acting like the market owed them good nights. They accepted that some days would simply be slow. By working with that reality, their decisions became calmer, smarter, and ultimately more profitable. The market isn't keeping score. It's not planning to give you back what you lost, and it's not punishing you for winning either. The gambler's mindset is just your brain trying to find fairness where none exists. When you stop expecting payback and start treating each trade as an independent event, your risk management gets stronger, your emotions calm down, and your performance improves. Your job as a trader isn't to make the market pay up. It's to execute a plan, manage risk, and let the probabilities work over time. Think long-term, stay disciplined, and remember, the only thing you're owed is the opportunity to take the next good trade. If this episode hit home, hit that like button. It tells the algorithm we're worth your time. Drop a comment if you've ever caught yourself thinking the market owes you, and share how you broke free from it. Make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications because in the next episode of Trading Psychology Pitfalls, we'll talk about the illusion of control, why you can't predict every move. Trade smart, stay disciplined, and remember, the market owes you nothing